This week, On the Spot gets set to return to the land of Tiberium with Command & Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath. We'll also take a look at the next installment in everyone's favorite console collectible card game, The Eye of Judgment, Biolith Rebellion. If that's not enough, all your favorite Sega franchise characters are back to put their money where their rackets are in Sega Superstar Tennis. So get your paws ready because On the Spot comes hard-boiled and ready for decorating.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to On the Spot. I am Ryan McDonald, and you are Brian Eckberg, and you are Sean McGinnis.
I am.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good. Brian, we have an excellent show, sir.
We got so many games. We got Easter eggs.
Dude, how does that even work?
I don't even know. I just put salt on them and down them.
The other thing is the title of the show you saw there and the little rundown. Dude, Eye of Judgment, I have to admit, like, for the longest time,
Yeah.
I was just like, whatever, card game, whatever.
Yeah.
I actually tried it last week. It's kind of cool.
I just started playing it.
It's kind of cool. Huh?
Yeah, I got like a gift card for Christmas,
Yeah.
and I was holding it, and finally they had that all-in-one pack. You get the camera, you get the thing for
Yeah.
like $70. Got it,
Yeah.
played it, liked it.
Yeah, it took me like like a turn or two to figure out like the positioning of the cards, like
Yeah.
which way they face
That
actually mattered.
matters, yeah.
I kept on putting all my dudes like facing backwards, and they just slaughtered me.
But here's the thing: it's like it's kind of tough to find the cards.
Oh yeah, totally.
I can't find the cards.
No, and they were in earlier last week, to showing off the new one, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cards.
Give me some cards.
Yeah, but they didn't have any either, so.
You think you could get them at like comic shops or something?
Isn't
but
the
it's
crazy
tough.
thing that like I heard somewhere online people like photocopying
Yeah,
and stuff like that?
I heard. I don't know if that's been addressed or not,
I
or
don't
if
know.
you can just,
I don't know. Either way, there's the Eye of Judgment. We're
Yeah.
gonna look at it, and it's the set 2, as they call it, the new one.
Seen that today?
Yeah, we're gonna see that today.
Awesome.
And like it has the baddest ass name ever. It's Eye of Judgment : Biolith Rebellion Set 2.
It sounds like something you do with Legos.
Yes.
The Biolith Rebellion.
Sean, you're gonna be showing us some Lost Planet colonies.
Lost Planet Colonies for the 360.
Is that thing pretty cool?
It's pretty cool, yeah.
All right, you can tell us all about that later. Justin Calver will be joining us. Worms: A Space Oddity.
Yep.
Worms on the Wii.
Yeah, and I saw it right before the show began, and Justin was speaking highly of it.
Right on. We got some baseball. You're gonna be excited about that, right?
Yeah, I went out to Scottsdale 2 weeks ago and saw a whole bunch of baseball players, so we went out there and talked to those guys, and we'll take a look at it today.
Right
It's
on.
going to be fun.
And we got Command & Conquer 3: Kane's Wrath.
I've heard that's a pretty big game.
People will probably be
People want to know
interested
about
in
that. Questions were coming in before the show began about that game.
That's true. That is very
Yeah.
true. Yeah, we were looking at it and kind of prepping our good friend Kevin Van Orden, be like, "Hey, yo, dude."
Yeah.
The other thing, which is good considering that game came in today.
Yeah.
And he's been playing a little bit, so
Yeah.
so he's got some knowledge for you.
Yep.
NVIDIA, like I don't know if you saw already, we actually put up a video. I think it was like a day ago or 2 days ago for the new graphics card that NVIDIA's got coming out, and it's like big and badass, and I'm sure it costs like $1 billion. But either way, I've never watched a 4-minute long video on a video card and like the whole time and been like excited.
Glued.
Yeah, totally. Like, Jim Mayberry cut that super awesome. I want to go get that card now.
Jim Mayberry's on a roll because he cut that Condemned 2 review.
The Condemned 2 review. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the Condemned 2 review,
Highly recommend it.
Although it is rated M for mature audiences.
It's
so.
disturbing.
Only for 17 and
Yes.
up.
It changed my opinion of Kevin Van Orden.
I watched.
I
that.
won't say which way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I never thought about it like that. All I knew is I wanted to play some Condemned 2.
Yeah.
And then of course Sega Superstar Tennis. Our good friend Aaron Thomas is gonna be coming by,
Yeah.
showing off a little tennis, Sonic style, some
Yeah.
Sega style. And then PS3 firmware update. That's
big news.
Yeah, that's coming, and they're gonna show us, or actually they did show us, and
Yep.
we've taped it, and we're gonna show you what it looks like and what it'll do. And then, have you heard, like, apparently Easter is going to be on Sunday?
That's what they tell me.
Totally. So, sometimes every so often we actually like to time features to go along with, like, things that are happening in the world, such
Right,
as Easter.
right.
So, we're going to be
Holidays.
looking at the top 10, or at least a little clip of the top 10 most wanted game-related resurrections.
I think that has some sort of Easter theme. I don't
It
get
does. You'll see it when you see the piece. Let's see, and then we got some. So we'll announce the winners from last week, of course.
There's a lot to do.
Lots of people, lots of prizes, lots to do. The one thing, speaking of lots to do,
Yeah.
we should have done this, I guess, maybe the week before last, but we didn't think about it because here we are sitting in San Francisco, and hey, daylight savings, it happens to everybody, right? Apparently not, as some of you that are out in the world besides America realized when you tuned into the show last week and just caught the end, since the whole daylight savings time thing doesn't actually work everywhere. So our apologies for that.
It's more ugly American imperialism. We
gonna
always
change time.
Everybody changes time, right? No, just America. And Arizona doesn't, I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How does that even
It's
work?
like 49 states do it, but Arizona says no, thank you.
Wow.
Hawaii,
That's
too.
taking a
Yeah, in
stand,
Hawaii.
really?
Yeah, Hawaii.
We're gonna figure out how that is and see if that applies.
The time
to-
zone insurrection.
Oh yeah. And then, so that there was that, and then also check this out.
Yeah.
Like on a little so this guy, like I go through a lot of the emails, I go through a lot of the stuff after the show.
Yeah.
There's a guy by the name of Josh 50.
Josh 50.
Josh 50. Josh 50 wrote in and said, oh please, for the last 4 years, I've been trying to get you guys to say hi on my birthday. Can you guys do it, please? So this is obviously something I read afterwards, so this is from last week. So, but the one thing I was thinking, like I was like totally gonna come in today and be like, yeah, happy birthday or belated birthday or whatever
Yeah.
for last week. But dude, like, is it impossible that his birthday could have fallen on the last 4 Thursdays of the last 4 years?
Yeah, he's clearly a liar, so he gets nothing.
Well, he got the belated one anyway, so.
So the question is, has he been doing it every, like, do you remember like 2 years ago when Josh 50 said, why didn't you recognize my birthday? Or was it just today that he said 4 years?
It was today for you, so
Okay.
he could be fooling me.
Well, you think we should wish him
Yeah, hey, happy
birthday, man?
Yeah, happy belated
Well
birthday.
done.
Should we get
We'll
him a
see you
cake?
next Thursday, a year from Thursday, a year from today,
There you go.
I guess.
So should we kick this show off right now?
Let's do it.
All right, excellent. Let's go ahead and take a look at this crazy Eye-Judgment Byleth Rebirth Set 2.
Hey everybody, and we are here with the Eye of Judgment. Now, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's this crazy cool card game that Sony released for the PlayStation 3 last year, and it is kind of a traditional card game. You got a mat and everything, and playing cards, and the big hook for it was it used PlayStation Eye, and you have like these crazy 3D representations of your characters. Folks seem to like it. They liked it so much that there's actually an expansion coming out, and I'm here with Brian Keltner from Sony. Howdy.
Hi.
And you are going to show us this new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah, so with the Eye of Judgment Byleth Rebellion 2, Set 2, there's almost 100 new cards with a lot of new abilities, new features, and with the expansion pack there will be new display elements as well as a encyclopedia on your PlayStation 3 to be able to read some of the cryptic codes. But so, start off by showing you one of the new features, which is being able to turn a field on your board to serve as multiple elements. So, the card I'm going to play right now, I'm going to place it on this water field, and it will change the adjacent field, which is fire, to act as fire and earth. So, if you have an earth creature, you can put it on that, get the same health benefits as you would if it were a fire creature or if it were on a native earth field.
And go dwarves. They did their job.
And because it's a fortress, it doesn't attack.
Nice. So, you know, if you guys haven't quite gotten up to speed on how this works, basically there's 9 fields on the board. Each one has like a different elemental affinity, which you saw the dwarves changed, but basically what you want to do is you want to match cards to their affinity, and you want to control each of the different spaces till you have the majority. And while you're doing that, you have people attacking you and trying to take your stuff. And so it looks like on top of new card content, the rules are being tweaked a little bit, yeah?
A little bit, yes. Some of the new cards offer more interactivity between the cards you have in your hand, the cards you have in your graveyard, and the ones you have in your library.
Nice.
So you can play a card, and it will say, draw 2 cards from your library, and then shuffle 2 cards from your hand into your graveyard.
So yeah, we could continue to do this, but instead,
Yes.
why don't we hop into the viewer just so people can check out the new cards?
Yeah, great.
And you know, while we're doing that, can you let us know how the game's going to be available, because it's kind of unique for expansion packs?
Yeah, the expansion pack will be available on the PlayStation Network for $14.99, and that will download to your PS3. It installs just like any other expansion pack would. But the cards will be available in stores. There will be 5 new theme decks that will all be set to focused and then set to booster packs.
Nice.
Yeah.
So all for a total of 100 new cards. You got the stamina to find them all. All right, so here we are in the viewer, and this is just going to make it easier to show off the new cards to everybody. So start showing them off.
Yeah. So this one is the Farland Sand Dog.
Sweet.
Yeah, Farland Sand.
What's he
One
do?
of the cool abilities it has is to add decoy with the card in front of it. So all attacks will go towards that enemy instead of to you. You won't take the hit points. This is the Biolith battleship.
That better be impressive, because
Oh,
it sounds
okay.
like it should be. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Yeah. The tree foxes are pretty cool. Awesome tails.
That's. Oh, I guess it is a fox.
Yeah.
It's got a unique tail with stuff.
Good look at it. Run on.
Oh.
Make it roll over and die.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything really?
Yeah, I mean, we could go through the whole deck. It's 100 cards.
We
but-
could, but we won't.
Yeah.
What's your top pick right now? One more.
My top pick is the,
Find it.
yeah, no, it was right here. It's a Biolith, the Imperial Biolith Guard. When on screen, it's two giant soldiers with swords, and after they make a kill, they like tap their sword, or tap the shields.
Nice.
Yeah. It's pretty
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well then, tell us when, how much, and stuff.
The expansion pack will be on the PlayStation Network on March 27th, and cards will be in stores on the 28th.
Sweet. So Eye of Judgment fans, go crazy, because looks like there's going to be a whole lot more to sink your teeth into.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
There's a look at Eye of Judgment Biolith Rebellion Set 2. That is an awesome name. But I am joined now by somebody else who has an awesome name, Sean McInnes. You are here to show us some Lost Planet. Is that correct, sir?
Lost Planet Colonies, exactly.
Now, you've been playing that. You wrote the preview, correct?
I did, yeah, exactly.
And so what are you going to show us today, sir?
Well, there's a bunch of new multiplayer modes. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the history.
You mean like the history of
Lost Planet Colonies?
No, please, by all means, tell me.
Sure, yeah. So basically, somebody found out a while ago that Capcom filed a trademark for Lost Planet Colonies. Nobody knew what it was. They weren't sure if it was a sequel, spin-off, whatever. But we found out that it's basically a greatest hits remake of the original Lost Colonies, or Lost Planet Colonies. And yeah, so they added a bunch of new stuff, some new multiplayer modes. What we're going to do is we're going to check out the new multiplayer mode called Acrid Hunter.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and launch the game here.
Now, as I understand this is you playing along with Brian Eckbert across the studio.
Yep.
And then we also have Shankar Srinivasan, who's over there in the edit pool, and he's going to be joining you guys. Who gets to be the Acrid? Because I heard that is like the awesome part, right?
It looks like Brian's going to be the Acrid.
Yeah.
Brian Eckbert. So what does that mean exactly? That means like you're just big badass, like you're gonna like smoke everybody or what?
Yes. Frankly,
Pretty much,
yes.
yeah.
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 So give me the rundown. This is coming out for the Xbox, the PS3, PC. Is that right?
Xbox 360 and the PC, actually.
And what about? All right, so here we're taking a look at it.
Yep. You see Brian over there. He's one of the giant Acrid, kind of a scorpion-looking thing. The way the Acrid Hunter mode works is that one player at random will become an Acrid,
Yeah.
and then the rest of the guys, they just sort of team up against him, and it's pretty tough. You
Try
see,
to
it
take
just
him
killed
out.
me.
And now he's going after Shankar.
Yeah, exactly.
6 seconds to respawn. We can't actually. You guys don't have plugged into Brian's gear over there. Can we see that? Oh, really? Let's go ahead and take a look at Brian's business. All right. This is you respawned again, Sean.
Yep.
Look at it. They're in like the trenches there. Oh, dead again. See, the thing about the Acrid is that he's really strong.
He's
So
really well. I'm sorry.
He's really strong.
Oh yeah.
So it takes a while. It takes multiple humans. So it's kind of unfair. We've only got 2 on 1.
I
Yeah.
see that life bar of yours, man. It's like way. Like I see
pretty
them,
massive.
Yeah, they're hitting you, and then I see Sean's over here, and Sean's like it gets cut in half every time you touch him.
Yeah. I mean, to their you know, you can use mechs, which is nice if you're a human. But
Sean is currently in one.
Yep. One of these vital suits here.
Boom. Oh.
Oh, about
Look
to
at that
die.
one swipe takes you almost all the way halfway down.
Better hop out of this thing.
Better get out of there.
So yeah, they also added a bunch of new weapons and stuff. If I wanted, I could go up in the stands and find a flamethrower, which is one of the new weapons they added.
Is that something you can do? Can you show us?
Yeah, I think it's around here somewhere.
All right.
It might be in the trenches, actually.
All right.
Of course, Brian just killed me.
Oh yeah.
sorry, man.
Let's take a look at the Acrid. See it moving around, jacking.
And so, Sean, which Acrid do you get to play? I mean, is it random?
I believe there's 5 Acrid.
Okay.
It's purely random. They're all Acrid from the game itself. So for people who've played Lost Planet, they're Acrid that you've seen before. So there's a scorpion one. One of the other ones that we've seen kind of looks like a potato bug. So yeah, there's a pretty good variety, but it's totally random.
Now, one question I have is for people that have played, Lost Planet before. Is there enough new content to justify the purchase? Is it cheaper than a full-blown game, or what's the deal?
Yeah, basically, I mean, what most companies do is that they, when they release a greatest hits version, they just sort of lower the price and slap on some new box art. But Capcom, they're actually lowering the price to $29.95, and they're adding all this cool new stuff. There's quite a bit. There's new single-player modes. There's new, characters, weapons, and all that. So, if you're a fan of Lost Planet, definitely something to check out.
Right on. Do you mind if I throw some questions from the audience toward you?
Sure, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look this up. You keep on trying to survive because it looks like Brian just whacked you a second
Brian's
ago.
working us.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the Accurate again. That thing is awesome. Let's see here.
The thing about the Acrid is that they've got like weak points, like that point near my tail is like my weak point. Whereas if you just shoot me in the front, right, it's basically armored and you can't really do much to me. So it's like that's where the strength and numbers comes from playing on the human side. You just gang up and get like 10. Hey, Sean, do you know how many people can play this mode?
Yeah, 16-player match.
Okay, so basically it's 15 on 1, right?
I'm not sure if it's one Acrid or if it's proportionate to the amount of players.
Okay.
So yeah, I might have to check back with us on that one.
Yeah. But at the very least, it's probably going to be typically more humans than Acrids.
Yeah, exactly. So it would definitely be a lot easier if we had more than
Yeah,
two
you got to
people
use
right
your
now.
positioning.
There's a lot of questions about this game. I'm going to just start throwing them out.
Okay.
Caesar Aguirre out of Tempe, he wants to know, can you download this on the original game, or is this a full-blown, like, walk in the store purchase?
This is a full-blown new SKU, as they call it, so you have to purchase a brand new disc for this.
I gotcha.
One thing that's kind of a bummer is that it's not backwards compatible with the original Lost Planet.
No?
So your game saves won't work, your rankings won't work, and you can't actually play multiplayer with people who own the original game.
No?
So that's kind of a little bit of a downer, but one cool thing is that it's cross-platform compatible, so people who own it for PC and 360 can play against each other online.
Okay. Matt Clifton wants to know, how many different Acrid can you play in the multiplayer, and are there differences between them? Is it just the one you can be?
No, there's more than just this one here. I believe it's 5 altogether, and there's a pretty huge difference between them. This one can jump pretty high, and they all have different attacks. Like, this guy's attack is primarily done with this big scorpion tail, but some of the other ones we've seen, they use their arms a lot more, and yeah, there's definitely some different attributes to them.
The other question I'm seeing a lot of is, I guess some people, I don't know if they're talking about the PC version or the console versions, but they were asking some of the bugs that were in the original game, have those, been addressed in this new version?
Some of the bugs in the original game?
Yeah.
You mean like technical issues? I'm not too sure exactly.
But just to be clear, this does contain the full original Lost Planet game?
Yeah, the full original, the same story as the original. So yeah, single player is largely the same, but multiplayer has been beefed up a lot.
Excellent. Any questions from you, Brian Eckberg, or are you just having fun over there?
I'm just having a good time just killing puny humans.
Excellent. All right, so let's go ahead and hear the details. Lost Planet Colonies coming out for the PC, Xbox 360, and PS3. When is this going to happen, sir?
Well, just PC and 360.
PC and 360. I'm sorry.
It's coming out May 27th, and it's going to be costing, I believe, $29.95.
All right, that's not bad. All right, so Lost Planet, look forward if you're a fan. Thank you so much, Sean.
My pleasure.
Appreciate you
Anytime.
coming by. So now we're going to throw it across the studio to our good friend Brian Eckberg, who is standing by with Justin Calvert. What do you guys got over there?
We have Worms, a Space Oddity, and yes, I'm joined by Justin. Justin, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm good, thanks.
Good. So another Worms game, but this one's on the Wii.
This one's on the Wii, and they've changed a bunch. So I'm just loading it again because I had a game and I didn't pause it while you guys were playing Lost Planet, so I was getting owned. But yeah, you'll see in a second they've changed a whole lot of stuff. The controls have been very Wii-ified, but they work really well. And the thing you'll notice straight away is that weapons like grenades and stuff like that previously have actually been really hard to use because you had to think about the trajectory and the wind and the strength of the throw and all that stuff. And they've made that much easier now, even though you have to do the throwing motion.
You still have to think about that stuff, but it's just easier to do, right?
Yeah, it's just easier to do. You still have to think about that stuff, but what you can do, as I'll show you in just a second, is you can do kind of dummy throws first.
Okay.
And you see the trajectory and let's get started here. And you see, yeah, you can basically line up your shots and lock them, and then you'll see. It's really easy.
Well, I noticed that this game doesn't use a nunchuck, right? It's just purely the Wii remote.
It's all on the Wii remote.
Okay.
So this is another new thing actually. There's all different game types.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for the easy mode just because I know that the grenades and stuff are easy in there. But there's other ones there like shopper mode, which is one where you start off with very few weapons, but then there are tons and tons of weapon crates for you to collect. What other modes are? There's modes where you only use explosive weapons. There's modes where it's all about close combat. And the other thing here, you'll see that we're finding on different planets. So one of the things on this planet is that there are gas clouds that come around and kind of hide worms. There are other planets where maybe the gravity is different, and there might be like a UFO that comes and randomly moves worms around and that kind of thing.
So let's back up before we start talking about all the different variations. What is so if someone's never played Worms, what is Worms?
So Worms is, well, man, you have to have played Worms, but if you haven't, then it's I mean, it's basically you just get these teams of worms and they just go at it and they have to kill each other, and they have these crazy weapons like exploding sheep, exploding grandmothers, all kinds of stuff. So here I'm going to use the new Homan missile, which you can see I'm steering just by moving the Wii remote around. There we go. Let's hit this guy. Yeah.
So that looked pretty easy in the past. That would have been really hard.
That's pretty easy. The Homan missiles were pretty easy before, but they weren't quite that easy.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll let them take their turn now, hopefully, and then I'll try a grenade or something in a second just to show how that works. Oh, he's doing the same thing, but he's making it look a bit more difficult.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah, I put it on the beginner level.
Oh,
so
okay.
If you put it on the hard level, you'll find that these guys are like superhuman and they'll just do stuff you wouldn't even dream of trying.
They start chaining all these different...
Oh, and Bradley took a hit there. Meckberg's still doing fine.
Oh, look at him. He's good. You need to go with him. He's smart.
Okay, here's Bradley. So, let's zoom out a bit here. Okay, so I'm going to try and hit the guy down below me there.
Okay.
I'll try and do it by maybe a little cheeky throw up here. So then, I've got that power gauge at the bottom there, the red gauge you can see. So I can just do it like, I'll do a dummy throw there. Okay,
that's not good.
Oh, man, there's wind here as well. That's not good. This might be harder than. Oh, damn!
You might be able to get. See, he's got some sort of like force field generator.
This might not be quite as easy as I had hoped.
But that's the general idea, right? It shows you the arc before you throw it.
Yeah, it shows you the arc, and then. Okay, I'm just going to let it go. So I've locked that now, and then I can just go like this, and it's going to do exactly what I just set up.
Right.
So that makes using these weapons a lot easier, providing you don't have strong wind and crazy gravity stuff.
Right. So, oh wow, like a laser cannon or something. Is there any weapon that's really stood out for you that you really like so far, besides the homing rocket?
There's one I really like, which is it's like a UFO that comes along and it hovers over the top of like whichever target you've designated, and then it just sends down like this huge anvil, like crashing down through the. Let's use the. Let's have a quick go at the rocket pack. Let's see if I can get myself to. So I steer this with the.
You've only got
remote as well.
so much time, I suppose.
I can go there and then let's try the sheep.
Throw some questions your way?
Oh, yeah. Got any questions, Ryan?
I do. I got a ton of them.
Oh no! I just went down.
Scott McLovin in Montreal wants to know how many weapons are in the game.
I can pull it up in a second. I think there are actually only like I want to say there's like 15 or something. Okay. This is going to really hurt right now.
Oh, it's like a suicide lamb or something?
Yeah, it's like a robo sheep. I think it's 15 or 18, we'll see in a second, but what they've, like most of the weapons you'll recognize from previous games, there are a few new ones, but even though there are less weapons, because stuff like the regular grenades and missiles and stuff are easier to use now, like they're actually feasible, because I think in the previous games it's fair to say that only the very best players would ever use those unless you just run out of everything else.
Is there are all the weapons available right away, or do you have to earn them as you go?
That depends on the mode that you're playing. So yeah, some of the games like I was saying, you'll only get like close combat weapons. So yeah, that's all the weapons in the game right there. So that's 17, and they're not even all weapons. You've got like it's more like 10.
It's like a teleporter I saw earlier too.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, we've got a teleport there.
Michael Young from Brecken wants to know: will you be able to use the GameCube controller?
Use the what? Sorry.
GameCube controller.
I don't think you can. I think you have to do the Wii Remote stuff.
And you were saying there's sort of a story mode to this game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a story mode now, which is a those sheep, which is a first for Worms games, as far as I know. And the thing that's cool about it is, apart from the fact that you travel to all these different planets and there's the different gravity and different friction and stuff, is they have objective-based levels. So you're still killing other worms, but there'll be other stuff like, to beat this level, you have to kill these worms and you have to collect these 4 ship components that are scattered around the level. So, and you'll still only have like a limited arsenal with which to do that. So you have to kind of think about what you're using and when you're using it. And so you've still got enough stuff to just throw that.
Cool.
Go on.
Ryan Mack, you got another question for us?
I do actually, and I'll give this to a couple different people. Max Delgadillo, San Diego, and also De Sol in Estonia. Basically, a ton of other people too want to know: is it online? What are your multiplayer options? Is it just 2 players, same console? What do you got?
I'm 99% certain there's no online. I really wish I had checked that. But it definitely supports like 4 players on a single console. That's the great thing with Worms games is, it's all about on a single console. You don't need any crazy split screen or anything. It's all turn-based. So, yeah, it's definitely 4 players.
It's also got a bunch of mini games, right?
Yeah, there are 6 mini games that you unlock in the single player mode, 1 for each planet that you visit. I've played one of them so far, which is kind of a thruster type clone where you're just having to guide a rocket ship from one end of a level to the other.
And just I have a question for me. This is a game that came out just this past week. Is that correct?
I think just came out this week, and in Europe it's out next week.
Okay.
I think that's right.
All right, yeah, Daylight Savings Times may be out next week.
Yeah.
In April. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Oh.
All right, Justin, thank you so much. Worms, the Space Oddity, out this week here in America.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to take a look at some baseball interviews. Jim and I went out to Scottsdale, Arizona last week to go check out the 2K Sports Video Game Challenge. Talked to a whole bunch of video game baseball players as they played the Wii version of MLB 2K8. Check it out. Hey everyone, welcome to beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. We're here for the 3rd annual 2K Sports Video Game Challenge. Right behind me is the Scottsdale Plaza Resort. Well, right behind me is a big bus with Major League Baseball 2K8. But right behind that is the Scottsdale Plaza Resort where 30, 40, 50 real-life MLB players will be inside playing the Wii version of MLB 2K8. They're going to have a home run derby of sorts. Let these guys bat it out and see who is the reigning Wii champion of MLB 2K8. We're going to go in there and talk to as many of those guys as we can cram into an hour and a half. And so let's go in there and check it out, talk to those guys, see what's going on.
Welcome once again to the 2K Sports Home Run Derby.
I'm joined now by Jack Tashin with the San Francisco Giants. Jack, you got to tell me how you did tonight so far. First round, though, right?
I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I'm not much of a hitter. I pitch, obviously, and I put 7 out, which is more than I really do in real life.
So they're doing 2 things. They're doing the most home runs and then the longest, and you hit 591.
Trust me, that's not how I really swing it.
Here with Mike Morath, we're talking about the 2K Sports Video Game Challenge. Mike, have you participated yet?
Yes, I did.
How'd you do?
Didn't fare well.
Tell us how many home runs you got. I know you got, what, like 10?
1.
Joined by Bob Howard with the Chicago Cubs. Bob, are you in the 2nd round or the 1st round in this competition? You seem like you're doing all right.
Yeah, we squeaked through with 9 in the 1st round, advanced to round number 2.
So how many did you get in the 2nd? Or have you haven't gone up to bat yet?
No, the first round I had 9. Okay. It was quite a letdown from the 24 in the qualifying round.
Really, 24? What happened? What happened to your swing?
I got tired.
Dalton wins this year's Major League Baseball 2K Home Run Derby. This year's Home Run Derby winner.
So there you have it. Todd Helton proves that he's good in video games at doing what he does in real life, and that is hit home runs. He wins the 3rd annual 2K Sports Video Game Challenge in commanding fashion. I think he hit like 90 billion home runs in that final round. So congratulations to him. Thanks for 2K Sports for having us out. Back to you guys in the studio.
There's some baseball action. That looked like a lot of fun, Brian. Was it cool?
It was fun, man. I got to talk to a whole bunch of baseball players who I didn't recognize.
Oh, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Speaking of sports, you actually have something called Deca Sport for the Wii. Is that correct, sir?
That's right. I've got Deca Sports for the Wii. Now, we saw this game first time back at TGS last year. It was called Deca Sporta. But now it's Deca Sports. That's American.
Is that, yes.
Yes. So it's on daylight savings time, this game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So it's basically a collection of 10 mini games. We've got. I'm going to list them all because I'd like to take requests for what people want to see. So we've got badminton, kart racing, curling, the Canadian national sport, snowboard cross, archery, supercross, beach volleyball, figure skating, which I'll tell you right now is surprisingly good.
Really?
Basketball and soccer. Now, I'm a big fan of archery, so I'm going to start with archery, but I want people to send in what do they want to see next. All right, so I'm going to start with archery.
I've got one, after you do the archery, I've already got one for curling.
Okay, curling?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So basically, you start off with a team, and there's a number of pre-built teams in this game, and there's Casey, Charlie, Brandon, Flores, and Gerard on this one, and they have small, medium, and large, and each size of the player depends how well they'll do at certain events. So there's a little bit of it's like exactly.
Like ice hockey?
It's like the old ice hockey where some guys are good are kind of fast. So archery does not require the nunchucks, so I'm going to pull it off.
All right.
And this is reminiscent of the archery game in Mario vs. Sonic at the Olympic Games.
I think.
So there's Casey. So basically, all you do is you hit you pull the trigger, you pull back with the Wii remote, and then you aim. Basically, I'm aiming. There we go, and you let go of the trigger to shoot the arrow. Not too good, but I get another shot at it. Actually, Chilla gets a shot at it. Her name is Chilla.
I'm watching the chat room obviously to see what people are saying in terms of what they want to see.
Yeah.
There's some figure skating I heard, and the one that cracks me up is this guy in here. This him 42. He's like, those aren't even Mii's.
Yeah, they're
He's
not
just like
Mii's.
all pissed off.
They're not Mii's, but they had that. One of them was named Chilla. That's awesome, man. You can't create a Mii that's named Chilla. No, Wii's not capable. Okay, so again, we'll go through the archery. Press the B button. Pull back as if you were drawing back the string. And then you can push forward to aim if you like, and then to shoot the arrow, you just let go. Yeah.
That's
so
good. Yeah.
there's archery. I'm gonna back out. And what do people want to see?
Basically, I've got one for everything, but I'll tell you. Let's see.
What do you want to see, Ryan? Mac?
Curling is definitely the leader.
Curling? Okay,
Yes.
I was afraid of that because I don't really understand curling.
I can tell you about curling, dude.
Please do.
All right, so check this out, right? You got these dudes, and they basically got these brooms.
Yes, sir.
And they somehow do it really fast.
Okay.
Right in front of this thing that's like I think if I remember right, it looks like a hockey puck, like a
It
giant
does.
hockey puck.
Except it's huge.
Oh yeah, and so these dudes, they basically get the momentum going and they push it off, right? And the idea is kind of like a bocce ball in a way, or maybe horseshoes. You got to get it like basically the closest spot in that circle. See that target down there?
Yeah, I see it.
Try to get it right in the center, and like use the guys with the sweeping to either have increased friction or less friction, and that's actually what helps it get there.
Do you have to be Canadian?
No, this is like Olympic sport. They do it all over the world apparently.
Okay, all right. So I'll try this. I think it's just it's merely you have to kneel by hitting the B button. And then there's like a power meter, and this is where having the small versus large guys plays into effect, because I think depending on the size guy you have, that meter will be smaller or larger. So I think you just push forward. So not a very strong shot, and then to sweep.
Sweep.
It's literally you're just sweeping, dude.
You gotta go sweep.
See, I didn't hit it very hard, so I got to sweep the crap out of this thing.
Sweep.
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 You dumb Canadian, sweep.
That's the whole country. You can't insult the whole country.
No, these guys are dumb.
Oh, okay.
All right, so now it's Stephanie's turn. I should skip her turn, right?
I don't know. The Calvin Ho from Edmonton.
Oh, God. Of course it had to be from Edmonton.
He just wants to know, is there online?
As far as I know, there's no online in Deca Sports.
Okay.
Which I know all of Canada is weeping at that. Look, so you can see right there.
Those dudes know how to sweep.
One thing, that's right in the middle. One thing I forgot to mention is how you twist when you push affects
like
the kind of curve you put on the stone, I believe it's called.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
So I'm going to try to put some heavy curl because I'm going to aim a little bit left, right? Because I want to knock the yellow guy out of the middle.
Okay.
And so, Neil, this guy's super strong, right?
It's
So
just like
as I
bocce
push
ball.
forward, I'm going to twist to the left.
All right, do it.
Bam!
Oh, it's like you're shivving them and you're
Yep.
breaking it off.
It's like I'm going to sweep it.
That's some good sweeping.
There's so much sweeping. God.
Let's see the result.
See? I knocked him off.
You did.
That's a point for me.
That is business.
Well, maybe not, I don't know. I don't know how to. Yeah, see, I got a point. I knocked him out. He loses a point, and I get a point. That's curling for you. Do we have a good idea? Can I move on to something else?
Yeah, I'll tell. Let's give it to this dude, Joe. Joe from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
He's got more exclamation points at the end of Supercross than anybody else. So he
Wow.
wins.
Okay, so I'll tell you right now, Supercross is, when I played this game before, Supercross is practically impossible. So there's a couple of driving games in this one. There's I almost said Mario Kart. Oops. It's actually kart racing, which is actually really easy, but the Supercross is actually really hard. So
Okay.
but we'll check it out because he had so many exclamation points. I'm going to try a different team. So we've got like Team Thunder, the Mad Maidens,
Let's see those teams.
the Speed Strikers, I think. That sounds like good.
I want to see what the Speed Strikers look like.
Yeah, you got Pete, Samuel, Debbie, Shelley, and Carol Jean.
They sound like a solid group of people.
Carol Jean sounds like a redneck. I like her. All right, so we're going to go straight in. So with these, it's really straightforward, right? You hold the Wii remote like every other driving game you've played on
Sideways.
the Wii. Sideways, and I believe the 2 button is your acceleration. But there's jumps and everything, and you can do tricks, I think, by waggling the Wii remote, but I'm really bad at this, so I apologize in advance.
I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm gonna make like a handlebar attachment that fits into,
Okay,
and then to be having actual handlebars to do this. Wouldn't it? You'd pay a bunch of money for that, right?
I would.
See?
I'd pay all my salary for
Mad
that.
Cats, me and you hooking up.
Oh, see? I apologize. What is going on?
Apparently, you just need to go. You are not going.
This is wrong.
There you go.
Go! Damn it, Chilla. All right, here we go.
There you go. You got it straight.
There we go, there we go.
All right, now you're business.
Oh!
All right.
All right, I think that's enough of Supercross.
Yeah, Supercross not so great.
That's enough.
At least not in the. You know, it should be said that sometimes in the studio with the lights and stuff, right?
Yeah,
The
that's what it was. It was the lights. I'm sure it was the lights.
Let me see. I got some questions here. I think maybe.
I'm just gonna show figure skating because it's
Yeah.
actually kind of I kind of like it.
Okay.
But yeah, if we have any questions, hit me.
No, it's mostly just like whoops and epic fail and oh my god physics.
All right, so with figure skating, you're obviously skating to a song, so they have different difficulties.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I played this one, so I kind of remember. I'm gonna try Madame Butterfly,
Gotcha.
which is, I suppose, the theme from the opera, but we'll find out. And you kind of I need a nunchuck for this one. Okay. I'm being told that this should be the last demo, and I don't know why.
I don't know.
All right, so you kind of follow along, and then you have to do like a little trick. Oh, these are not me. Skip them all. Now it's my turn. So you'll see like the song there on the top,
Yeah.
and then you sort of follow this pattern as you go, right? And the music, and then you do a little trick. You do a little trick. And the closer you follow the pattern that's being shown on the ice,
Yeah.
the better you do. Too bad. Good. That's a Lutz. That's an Axel. That's a kowtow.
How many people can play this game at any one good time? Walter Hall at Chicago wants to know.
What's that?
How many people can play at any one time? Walter Hall
Depends
wants
on the wow. It depends on the game, actually. I'm
Yeah?
just going to let her go.
Okay.
It depends on the game. It's up to 4 people, I believe.
Excellent.
So, but it's got basketball and soccer, and the kart racing, I think, is up to 4. So, kind of fun.
Right on.
It's a little bit Olympic themed.
When's it coming?
Latest release date we have is Q3 2008.
Really? It seems like it's largely done though.
It seems like it would be. You think they'd want to have this out around the Olympics,
Yeah,
but
totally.
I don't know.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Brian Eckberg.
My pleasure.
I am now joined on the sitting set by our good friend Kevin Van Ord. Kevin Van Ord.
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So you got like a genuine, awesome, crazy, big ass PC game that everybody wants to see.
Yeah. What do you know? Command and Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath, the expansion pack to Tiberium Wars.
Now I admit, the last Command and Conquer 3 that came out, I sat there for all 3 of the sides to play, and then then all of a sudden Aliens, and then
Oh yeah.
that was hard.
Yeah.
But what's so?
Scooter definitely different. I got just a little chance to play earlier today, and the first thing I wanted to show was the opening cutscene because there's no doubt that the Command and Conquer series is known for the cheesiness of the whole thing, and there's no exception here. In fact, I would say that this just raises the levels of cheesiness to new heights.
That's awesome.
So let's take a look and see what this looks like.
Reunification. I see they got like the same set from before.
Yeah, it's Are we getting sound?
Yeah, they got it going.
Excellent. It's all red. Important part.
They have abandoned us, my child. Brotherhood of Nod has been broken. You are the only one who has not forsaken me. At this very moment, McNeil and his GDI lackeys celebrate their victory in what they are calling the Second Tiberium War. They have the Tacitus, but no understanding of its true purpose. Our technology has failed us. Cabal is no more.
Listen to the sounds of your own extinction.
Though his memory lives on. Our enemies believe we have been defeated, and that I am no longer among the living. They are gravely mistaken. You and I are all that remain, but all that is necessary. For together we will raise a great army. Together we will show the world's downtrodden who the real enemy is. GDI promises them prosperity, but in the slums of Rio, the homeless and hungry know the truth. They have been forgotten. They have nothing but their anger. We will take that spark and start a fire which will become a great conflagration. Peace through power.
Right on.
Yeah, there's some flying spit there.
Yeah, that dude got.
Yeah.
It's Joe Kukin, right?
Yeah, Joe Kukin, yeah. Not the mask thing, not as good as a pig mask.
No, definitely
Want
not.
to point that out.
Yeah.
But definitely got some mech thing, and that actually goes into the new sub factions for the Nod, which is that all the new units, at least the ones for the sub faction that I'm going to show you today are all mechs. I just got to get out of here and actually go to my saved skirmish so I can show you. But
while you pull that up, I guess it's too late to say for anybody that actually hasn't beaten Command and Conquer 3. Spoilers. But whatever. It's like that game came out like so long ago. You should have beaten it already.
Yeah, that's pretty true. That's pretty true. I mean, it's kind of a given. This expansion pack. It'll probably have some slight spoilers in there.
This one's coming out pretty quick, right?
This one comes out on Tuesday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So let me.
So being a fan of the Command and Conquer, I know you.
I am a fan of the Command and Conquer.
Yeah, me as well. We should be looking for this. This is going to be good business, right?
Oh yeah, I'm having a good time now. I'm loading the skirmish I got in progress because I want to show you some of the new units. Here I'm playing as Marked of Cain. Now all three factions, GDI, Nod, and Skrin, all have 2 sub-factions that have been added. So you can play as vanilla GDI and Nod and whatnot, but there are also 2 sub-factions that feature some new buildings, some new units and stuff like that. So we're going to take a look at one of the Nod sub-factions, which is Marked of Cain, and the whole story behind them is that there's all this research that Cain was up to that didn't make it into the Third Tiberium War, but now that it's finished up, he can use it. And I want to show you some of these really interesting factions. This is some of the interesting units. This is the Enlightened.
Will you zoom up on them for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's as close as I can get, unfortunately.
Okay.
But these are just infantry units here. So I'm going to go and attack this Han and Nod here with them, so you can get an idea of what they're going. Whoa, they're moving kind of slowly. I think my laptop is very warm right now, being on my lap, which is not where the laptop is supposed to be.
Now, We're getting a ton of questions pouring in, so hopefully you don't mind fielding some of these as you go.
Not at all. Hopefully my 45 minutes of play will have made me an expert in Canes of Wrath.
Mr. Brian Eckberg, if you will please.
I've got one from DJ Music 10 in Brooklyn, New York, who wants to know, is this a standalone expansion, or do you need to have the previous
We'll
game?
need the original to play.
Okay.
So you will. This is not a standalone. And you can see here, the Enlightened have this nice Tiberium beam that they sent out there, but they also have an EMP blast that I'm gonna set off now. Not a lot of good against infantry, obviously, but you can kind of get an idea of some of the nice infantry that's added. Now, I think down here, yeah, here we go. So here I've got Tiberian Troopers, which coincidentally takes the name of last year's tournament that we had for Command & Conquer 3, which was also Tiberian Troopers. Not to say that they stole the name or anything. And I'm going to send them off. They're moving slowly. They're not normally moving this slowly, but I think my laptop got nice and hot as it was sitting there.
You know, this laptop is running this really good, by the way.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's really no surprise since the last game ran so well that it looks really pretty, but also runs really well. Now, here you've got like this kind of gaseous Tiberium that they're spouting off, and that's actually good against infantry and structures. So not so great against vehicles, but what I really want to show you is a super unit here called Redeemer. The Redeemer, you can only have one on the field at one time, so you might think of him as a hero unit, if you will. You actually need to build a particular structure to build him. The structure that you require will actually also churn out all the other vehicle units in the game. But I'm going to send him off, and he's also got a great power of being able to turn enemy units against each other. So if I activate that in a crowd of enemy units, that will actually make them all fight each other. But obviously, he's a pretty formidable foe. Kind of a combination of the Avatar War Mech that Nod already, has in its arsenal, as well as the tripod, the Skrin tripod. So let's use the special power and see if I can.
Kevin, do each one of the factions have a quote-unquote hero unit like this?
Yeah, each faction has one large unit that they can create that basically wreaks all kinds of havoc, like you can see here.
I know you haven't had much time with it. In terms of my tech tree, and in terms of how long do I have to go to get the Redeemer up and running? And once I do, I mean, is it a huge detrimental loss when he goes down, and it's going to take me a while to get him metal?
Mighty expensive.
Yeah.
If you want, I can go back real quick. See, you can't create him from one of the menus you're used to. You actually have to go to the structure to create him.
I gotcha.
I just have to remember where I put it. Here it is. So this is the Redeemer Engineering Facility. And as you can see, you can actually create all the other vehicle units here too. But he cost me a good 5,000 bucks here, 5,000 Tiberium. So he's pretty expensive when you consider that the Avatar War Mech, which was before the most expensive unit, is only 2,200.
I gotcha. And that's why I don't recognize that facility, because that is his little.
Yeah, that is brand new. And here's another one of the new units, which is a vehicle called the Spectre. It's stealthed much like the stealth tank, so you can use this for hit and run, but it's mainly used for buildings and aircraft.
Can we pull in on those guys and see that?
Absolutely.
You got any more questions over there, Brian Eckberg?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this one, Kev, but I'm going to run it by you anyway. Ilmari Lapalainen from Helsinki, Finland wants to know, do you know how many new units there are in this game?
I don't know for sure, but it looks like a third of the units in this sub-faction are new units, if you not just units, but new buildings. And there's some new special powers too, like I've got this laser fencing defensive power that I can use that fences in buildings, and it's not very impressive to watch in action, unfortunately, but it'll protect that building.
Select target.
So,
I'm sorry, it's hard not to be fascinated by all the comments in the chat room, and also all the questions coming in through the email. I think we got a few more questions in terms of time. You got a couple more for us, Brian?
Yeah, let's see here.
Back to my Redeemer.
Kevin, what can you tell us about the single-player campaign?
Only about the cutscene. Okay. I haven't played any single-player campaign yet, so I don't want to jump the gun and say something out of turn and be wrong.
Okay.
I've seen the opening cutscene, and I can tell you that it starts in Rio, in Rio de Janeiro, and it looks like it's pretty much a slum at this point when the single-player campaign starts. So even though GDI's kind of said, they've won this war, humanity's kind of, in ruins, and Rio's a slum, and that's where Kane starts his rise
to power.
Yeah, his rise to power. That's not a spoiler. It is called Wrath of Kane, or Kane's Wrath.
That's what some of the people were saying in the chat room. They're like, how can you guys not know that he lost the first time?
Yeah, it's the name of the game. It's kind of a given.
Right on. Anything else before we let you go, Kevin North?
Not that I can think of, except that I'm really pleased with the great big new units. Obviously, you got lots of nice, colorful particle effects and all sorts of great things going on. So I'm really looking forward to getting more into it this weekend and look for a review next week sometime.
Excellent. So it's coming out for the PC immediately. When again?
It's coming out for the PC on Tuesday,
okay,
I believe, and an Xbox 360 version in a couple of months.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks a lot, Kevin.
My pleasure.
Really appreciate you coming by. Right now, we are going to be taking a look at, you heard me at the top of the show mention it, NVIDIA's got some crazy new, bigger than, badder than, crazier graphics card than ever. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and see what that's all about.
Hi, I'm James Yu here in Santa Clara, California at NVIDIA headquarters here with Ujesh Desai, the general manager of the GeForce Group here at NVIDIA. NVIDIA just launched their new GeForce 9800 GX2 video card Tuesday, 2 days ago. I want to find out all about this card. It looks beautiful.
The card you're looking at here is our new GeForce 9800 GX2. The card itself actually has 2 GPUs on it. So it's got 2 9800 GPUs on it. And when we did the design, there's actually 2 PCBs, each one of them facing each other with a GPU on each of the PCBs. And we wanted to have a very cool industrial design enclosure that was both functional, but also looked, really cool and really sexy.
Now this is the GeForce 9 series, so what makes it more special than the last year's GeForce 8?
A couple things. One is performance, but the other is features. One of the key new features we have in this card is a feature we call hybrid power. It has built-in GeForce graphics on the motherboard, and it has a DVI connector on the motherboard. You then plug the display into the motherboard DVI connector. So then when you're playing your game like Crysis, you're using these graphics to play the game. When you're done playing the game and you just want to look at your email or surf YouTube or things like that, you can actually go into our control panel, select power mode, and it completely turns off these GPUs. And you're now using the motherboard GeForce GPU to power your PC.
And now we're going to talk about performance of Leon?
Sure. Why don't we invite Leon Farsetti. He's the product manager, and he can come up and talk about the performance of the card.
All right, Leon, let's talk performance. How much performance does 2 GPUs actually get you?
Well, when the 9800 GX2 comes out, it's going to take the performance crown from the 8800 Ultra, which was our last top dog in graphics. And keep in mind, when you say 2 GPUs, you're talking about 128 cores, processor cores times 2, doing your geometry, shader, texture, and all the good stuff that turns the game into a really great visual experience.
How much memory is in this card?
Each GPU is going to have dedicated 512 megs of frame buffer memory, so the card itself is going to have 1 gigabyte of memory dedicated to the 2 GPUs.
So when can I buy one of these, and how much will it cost?
So James, the card actually was available as of 2 days ago. We launched it on Tuesday, March 18th, and it's available today in your favorite stores. And retail price for the card is $599 to $649, depending on where you get it from.
Awesome. So thanks, Leon. Well, if you want to know more about the GeForce 9800 GX2, you just reach the site, GameSpot.com. We have a hands-on feature, and that's it for here. Back to you, Ryan.
Did you see how big that card is? It's huge. Yeah, it's totally big. But we're now joined by Brad Shoemaker and Aaron Thomas. How you guys doing?
Good.
You guys are here to show some Sega Superstar Tennis. This is out this week, correct?
Yeah, it came out Tuesday, Wednesday.
Came out Tuesday?
Yeah.
And you've been playing it. What do you think?
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah?
I've been playing it all day. I've unlocked quite a bit of stuff,
Uh-huh.
and I've liked what I've found so far.
Let's see what you got.
So this is the there's a bunch of multiplayer mini games, and I've unlocked a bunch of characters. You can see here, anything on the bottom row is something I unlocked. So I'm going to play as Samba, or I guess he's Amigo from Samba de Amigo.
Yeah, I think it's called Amigo, yeah.
Yeah, he's Amigo from Samba de Amigo, and Brad is the dude from Golden Axe.
Gilly's Thunderhead, dude, I think.
That is like the baddest ass model of that dude that's ever
I
existed.
know,
correct?
it's cool, yeah.
So you know, I haven't played these mini games. I've played the games that are in the Sega, the Superstar mode, but so this is kind of similar. You're trying to hit the monkey balls through the gates, and I don't know how we're going to compete here to do that, but
we'll find out together.
You can't go wrong with monkeys.
No. Look at that.
You can pick a bunch. Each level has several different songs to unlock, like 4 or 5, and we'll. All right. Oh, so we just split sides here. So A is to serve, A is your power, and you just, and then, oh, get out of my way.
Sorry. I want to know why I'm not playing tennis with a battle axe.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That would be sweet. Oh no, I missed.
So this is similar to what we had seen previously in.
Now you're serving, Brad.
Oops. Well, I botched that serve, but.
Yeah, it worked. Looks like we. Oops. Oh, we'll get the bananas. Alright, we're gonna hit this dude. Oh.
So this is one of like the little mini game modes you have, right?
Yeah. There's a bunch, and each level, or most of the levels have a mini game. That's kind of a variation of. You know, we suck at this one. Brad's bringing me down.
Yeah, sorry, dude. My pro tennis career didn't really work out.
I'm gonna agree with people in the chat room. I'm gonna say, moving on. Moving on.
New
All right,
mode.
you want to see it? You want to see it?
Who called it?
All right, we'll try. I'll show you one of the cool ones. There's, gosh, all the games in here. There's Space Channel 5. There's Sonic. There's Outrun. There's House of the Dead. Jet Set Radio. Gosh, I can't even remember all. Knights. Golden Axe, and
Snake.
No. Space Harrier. Haven't done that one. But one of the cool ones is Virtua Squad. And this is a one player, but it's basically Virtua. What am I going to use here? I'll use Spoola here.
So what are we gonna see now?
All right. So this is kind of shooting dudes, but with tennis balls.
I don't know.
So it's just like Virtua Cop, but with tennis, and it works surprisingly well. So right here, I've got civilians, I've got the bad guys. I move this cursor, I hit A to serve, and I missed him.
There you go.
You don't want to if you hit them in the gun, it's the justice shot. And they'll actually move around, and you actually have to time it, and it gets pretty tough. Like these guys will move around, but if you miss one, so I got hit like.
At some point,
and they actually shoot you back.
Oh, whoa.
Which is not cool.
That's super not cool.
I'm not taking that line down.
Right.
I'm gonna hit him this time.
So at some point, you do actually play tennis in Sega Superstar Tennis, right?
Well, yeah. You play tennis, and it's arcade tennis. It's pretty solid. It's not too hard. The controls are really simple, and
I mean, does it feel as good as say something like like Sega, Power, like their big Uber Sega tennis game, or is it a little lighthearted?
Virtual yeah, I mean it's not something you're going to want to replace Virtua Tennis with, but it's definitely. Oh, I hit that dude in the noggin. I'll show you a quick match.
All right.
Let's see.
How many of these mini games again do you think there are?
There's over 100 challenges in the Superstar mode, and so sometimes you play regular tennis, sometimes you play doubles. We'll try.
So either way, if you're a fan of the Sega, this is definitely something you should be looking for.
Oh yeah. I mean, they did a good job of just retaining the feel of the levels, like the original games, and the music, the characters, and it's fun. So
yeah.
I'm pretty impressed. So.
Brian Ekberg, how are the folks at home? They got some questions?
Well, a lot of people want to know about how many characters are in the game and if there's any surprises on the roster.
Well, there's a lot of unlockables, so I guess those would all be surprises.
Yeah. You know what I mean, Thomas.
There's like 15 or 16 characters in there, and most of the unlockables, but not all of them, are ones from the kind of paired with the people that are already unlocked. So there's Sonic and there's Shadow, and there's some other chick from Space Channel 5. I think Alex Kidd's in there, but he's one of the two that I haven't gotten yet.
Oh yeah.
And then we saw the dude from Golden Axe. So it's pretty simple. It's one button to hit a slice. There's a backspin shot, and you can 2 buttons to serve, and that's pretty cool. Everyone has a special move. Actually, he's glowing now.
Okay. Is there much of a difference between the different characters?
Yeah, each one is rated for different things. Some of them can, those pesky little monkey ball dudes can put a lot of spin on theirs. Makes it really hard to judge where it's going. Amigo is really powerful, and some of them are faster than others. And there's definitely a difference. So I'm going to use his special here. You just hit the trigger, and then when you hit the ball, it goes crazy and makes his life miserable, which is always fun. Except when they do it to you.
I'm sorry, which one was who? Who's Brad and who's?
I'm not even playing right now, dude. I'm just chilling.
Brad's just hanging out.
How can you could set a 2-player match with a dude?
He was afraid.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't want to get embarrassed on national broadcast.
I wanted to send Brad out on a high note.
I got a question here from Gavin, aka GWX out of London. Why no online?
It does have online
Oh, it
play.
does?
Yeah, it's got quite a bit. Ranked and unranked, and there's actually a TV mode where you can watch the best players play matches if you're into that sort of thing, and there's tournaments as well. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of online there.
Well, I don't know. Anything else you want to show us, or any more questions you have over there, Brian? One last?
Nah.
All right.
That's about it.
You good?
Yep, I'm good.
Excellent. So when's this coming out? What platforms?
It's out, but it's out for everything. PlayStation 3, 360, DS, PlayStation 2, and Wii.
Wow.
We'll have a review up shortly.
Awesome. All right. Did you guys hear about this resurrection little thing we're doing?
I did.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
I think so. For the folks at home, we got a couple little last few orders of business before we close out. The next one is a little sneak peek, I believe, an excerpt of a larger piece that is posting today, because it's Easter on Sunday. We like Easter. We have fun with it, and so one of the things that we thought would be cute is to take a look at some of the top 10 game-related resurrections that we'd like to see, and here's an excerpt of what that looks like.
So there's a whole bunch of games that I'd love to see resurrected, but I think at the top of the list, I'd have to go with Papyrus Racing Games.
If we're talking about resurrections, I thought I had a good one, but apparently some other people beat me to it because they already tried to make it happen. The game is Chrono Trigger for the Super NES.
The game I most want to see resurrected by far is Punch-Out.
So yeah, when I think of kind of resurrections that I would like to see, I think the big one is most definitely the Panzer Dragoon series.
Manual for a new Papyrus Racing game ideally is hardback and is 500 pages, 2 volumes. and the first volume should only be on like gear shifting.
I would have to say the entire scrolling shooter genre.
Baldur's Gate 3 would be the most awesome resurrection of all time.
Blaster Master.
Earthbound. Fire Shark for the Genesis.
The game franchise I would most like to see resurrected is Paradroid.
I'm a huge fan of River City Ransom. I mean, I don't know if a lot of you guys remember that game.
Absolutely #1, a new Fallout game. I love that, man. I got fan shirts made up. I'm psyched. I just wanted to make it so bad.
They're making a new Fallout 3.
What?
If you're making a new Chrono Trigger today, you'd have to bring some of those characters back. I mean, Chrono himself, even though he was a mute, he was still very personable, iconic. I mean, you had Frog, who was literally like an amphibious medieval knight that talked in Middle English and everything.
If I had to pick one out of Little Mac, Doc, or Tyson to come back, you got to go with Tyson. Even though, he's not a great guy, putting it mildly, he's symbolic with the first game. It was so intimidating seeing him walk into the ring, wink at you, and then kick your butt over and over and over and over and over and over.
I do miss 2D Metroid. And I know the trend is to go to 3D in all these games, and you know, the new series, you know, you got the Metroid Primes that are now first-person shooter and stuff like that. But frankly, I think some games and some series should always stay 2D.
A new Deus Ex. I love J.C. Denton. He's a great character. I played the hell out of those games, and what?
It's coming.
Minsk is not the most intelligent guy, as you can imagine. I mean, after all, he believes that his hamster that he bought when he was drunk is a giant miniature space hamster. So I would suggest that you could get perhaps The Rock to play Minsk in Baldur's Gate 3.
The appendix is online because, frankly, no one can bind it. It's so freaking huge. The code to get to Mike Tyson is 007-373-5963.
Pirates.
Yeah, it's coming.
When did that get announced?
Oddworld. Sounds a little like Oddworld.
Vinny, it's nothing like
Get rid of the stupid ass spread gun that went like this, you know, went like that and went up, because that thing was terrible.
I don't know if you would fight rats. I think you would eat them. I think he would just see one, he'd pick it up, and just bite its head off, and just think nothing of it. Just keep walking.
In Mother 3, they had kind of a rhythm type thing going on in battles, and so it could be similar to that. It could be, you know, music based. Shake your, I don't know, your Wiimote like a in Samba de Amigo or something like that.
On top of all the little graphical bells and whistles, the achievements, all the modern niceties of gameplay, you would really need you would need somebody with a really focused vision for the narrative and the atmosphere and the ambiance, the music, all that stuff to really bring it together and, you know, make it resonate emotionally the way that game did.
Anything that doesn't make Gary Gygax roll over in his grave, as far as I'm concerned, that makes Baldur's Gate 3 gaming material right there.
Here's my gauge of why a game needs to be resurrected. If I'm going out there and downloading an emulator, and those are the first games I think of, that definitely warrants a comeback.
There you go, yeah, bicycle riding, you could fry food with it to cook in the game.
I think the name of the game would have to be Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, eating your children, knocking you into Bolivian.
The perfect name, I'm going to cop out. I got to go with Chrono Resurrection. They were making it happen, so.
Baldur's Gate 3, The Resurrection of Boo.
It needs to be something really dumb, because they always have really dumb names.
Fire Shark Keeping It Real or Fire Shark Straight G in it. Okay, either one of those I think would be a top seller.
Chartreuse Sling Blade.
River City Ransom, Barf.
The name of the next Blaster Master game should just be Blaster Master, this is the greatest of all time.
Road War 2000. No one's ever heard of it. I played it on the Amiga. Ha! There you go. Take that, Road War 2000. Post-apocalyptic nuclear, you know, game, road warrior kind of stuff in the U.S. in the year 2000. When did they announce that? When's it coming out?
So you have it, a look at, that's actually the whole thing. They were telling me it was extra, but apparently that's the whole thing. So there you go. What do you guys think?
Funny,
yeah, it's pretty good, yeah? You guys have fun being in there? Yeah.
I like eating rats.
Yeah. I was watching the chat room, there was a lot of people saying a lot of good stuff. Kari Warriors, that'd be a good one. Somebody in there said Perfect Dark. It's like, didn't you just do that already? Like 2 years ago?
Done.
Perfect Dark.
Done.
I get the one-time fact I get to say it. The one game I am actually in. You can play me.
I knew that.
What? Oh, yeah, you knew that.
I did not know this.
Yeah, when I had the ponytail and everything.
Yeah, you were like a guard, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Did you ever shoot yourself in the face?
Oh, totally. And then like you walk up like, oh shit.
Could you even tell though with the textures? Like...
It was, you know, yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I could tell the ponytail gave it away.
Yeah.
Ryan's kind of blurry in real life, so. You know.
So that was awesome. We actually have one more thing before we go today. It's a little PS3 firmware update, plus the winners we're going to announce from last week, as well as a few other odds and ends. So
what about Duck Hunt?
Duck Hunt? What about that? Oh,
Bring it back.
Paperboy. Paperboy was the other big winner in there. People wanted Paperboy, sorry. But all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the PS3 firmware update that's coming and see what's going to have available.
Director of PlayStation Network Operations. Howdy, Eric.
How's it going?
It's going good. So we've had you on the show a couple times, and every time you come, show us neat stuff. And today you actually brought a lot of stuff, right? Because you're talking about firmware.
Definitely. A lot of great updates and a firmware update that's scheduled in the next couple weeks.
All right, so tell us about what you're going to show off on PlayStation 3.
Great. Well, as you know, we've done a lot of these firmware updates, and every time we do it, we add new features and functionality to the PS3 and the PSP, and we enhance other features that exist based on consumer feedback or just based on development. So let's take a look. The first thing I'm going to show you is, you may remember on the last firmware update, we did the ability to create playlists on the PS3 for your music and your photos. So now we're actually giving you the ability to export those playlists to the PSP. So you would go on your PS3, if you've got a lot of music and photos on there, organize them. You know, here you see I've got a lot of them in different folders. But if I go up here to playlists, I've already organized them into a few different trips, and I've done the same thing with my music. And you know, if you're on the go and you want to take your PSP out, you'd basically hook this up. And I'll hook up right now. Go into USB mode. And I can select, I'll say, let's take this New York photo collection, and we'll copy that out to the PSP. So it finds my PSP, I click on it, and it's going to shoot all of that over. And what's really good about this is you can take your photos in any order, you can mix different folders, you can take your music, you know, if you install a bunch of different albums on the PS3, you can then take select songs, make a mix or whatever you like, and then put them out on the PSP. So it's a great way to manage that and keep moving along. And so, so now that that's copied over, I'll show you on the PSP. We'll go over to photo, and you'll see I've got a couple of photos in here already, but then I've got this New York folder, and that's essentially the playlist I created of those New York photos. And you know, again, you can do the same thing with music. If I go over here, I've got this this collection of hip hop music, and that's on there. So the next thing I want to talk about is an enhancement to Remote Play. So you're familiar with Remote Play. It's the ability to control a lot of your content, view your content from the PS3 on the PSP. So what we've done this time, and this is interesting, a lot of people actually have their PS3 hooked up to a home theater system or receiver, and we're allowing them to use the PSP as a remote to control their music in their house. So it's a little different than standard Remote Play, but the way you would do this is you can either do this from the PSP or from the PS3 when you're in Remote Play. So if I go down here to Remote Play settings, you'll see there's a new option on the bottom that says Audio Output Device, PSP. I can change this to the PS3. So in the past, when you went into Remote Play, the PS3 would just go dark and it wasn't usable. There was no sound coming out of it, and the video would just say it's in Remote Play. But now, you know, a good use of that would be set it up, take your PSP, go into Remote Play, shut off your television, but keep your sound system on, and from anywhere around you can control the sound coming out of your, you know, control the music, pick from your music collection on your PS3. So the next thing I wanted to tell you about is some enhancements to the file types that are supported. We recently introduced DivX, which is really popular, and a lot of people are asking us to enable the ability to play DivX files on the PS3. We've done that, but you weren't able to play a file over 2 gigabytes, and the same goes for a WMV file. So now with this update, you can play files over 2 gigabytes.
Sweet.
And we've also enhanced the browser a bit. I don't know if I can show that because I don't think we're connected, but on the browser now, on the file menu, you'll have a save target option. So if you're on a website that has embedded video or photos, you can actually save them down to your PS3. So you can grab video and photos from the web, save them onto the XMB on your PS3. And the last thing I wanted to tell you about, I mean, kind of a minor feature, but a nice convenient feature, is Resume Play. So if you play a Blu-ray or a DVD movie on your PS3 and you stop it and you eject the disc and then you throw a game in and you play the game, the next time you put that disc back in, it'll pick up exactly where you left off, and it'll do that for a bunch of different discs. I mean, practically all the discs are compatible with that.
Sweet. All right. Well, this is all hot stuff, and this is hitting when?
In the next couple of weeks. We're scheduling it right now.
Very cool. And have to ask you the big questions.
Sure.
In-game cross-media bar?
Sure. You know, I've never heard that before. No, that's it's definitely something we're working on. You know, we hear that everybody wants it. We know that people want it. We'd like to deliver it to them. We'll do it as soon as we're ready. So you know, it's something we're working on. I don't have any other information at this time, but
we'll bug you every time.
Yes, definitely. I expected that.
And then is there anything on the horizon that you're looking forward to in terms of firmware upgrades for PSP and PS3? I mean, aside from in-game cross-media bar, which we know is coming really soon.
Sure. There are some really great enhancements planned for later this year. We've got a lot of things planned for both systems, and you know, hopefully we'll be back to talk about those.
All right, cool. Well, there you go. Thank you, Eric. Well, there you guys go. It's your little sneak peek and a little reminder to go update your PSP firmware. And look for this in the near future, and we will drag him back here and make him do cross-media bar like really soon.
and so there's a look at the PS3 firmware update. I saw somebody in there from London saying that there's a Wii thing, a Wii update that's coming soon, and like WiiWare in there. I don't know if that, you guys know anything about that?
All the time.
Yeah, it's constant updates. That's the world we live in. Consoles that have the ability to get online, you gotta update them.
At least
Right?
this one looks like it does something.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks like. I think there's actually a few more little odds and ends in there too that will surprise people. But enough of that. We've had like the longest show in history, so we're gonna have to close it out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the winners from last week. We had some Naruto action.
Yes.
We gave that away. There was actually games, there was figures, there was little keychain type things, plus the Viking mug. So let's go ahead and roll the names for the winners that we had from last week, and there you have it.
Come on, Aaron Thomas.
It's like Derek
Come
Fall,
on.
Mark Gibson, and that roll is going far too fast
So
to actually
fast.
say anything about it. So there you go. Hopefully you saw your name there. If not, that stuff is actually in the mail. We have, believe it or not, that stuff is actually in the mail right now.
Shocking.
We're getting the processes down here.
Process of going to the post office.
Oh yeah,
and-
totally. Or asking somebody, hey, can you mail this out for me? But seriously, here's some cool prizes. Show the cool prizes.
Yeah, I guess this is the crazy, ridiculous thing that is getting given away this week.
They actually gave this away on the hotspot.
Yeah.
So if you want to pull the trigger,
yeah,
make
you can't actually win
Can
this.
you make it overheat?
Yeah. All right. So it's what is this? Like a plasma rifle?
It's the
Covenant plasma
Covenant plasma rifle.
Yeah.
From Halo 3. It's laser tag.
And then it
I don't know if
overheats.
you can hear that, but
And then it like pops open.
It actually, yeah, like the friggin' steam vents actually pop open. And,
That thing's pretty awesome.
yeah. So,
Brian, you have one over there too, right?
I have the plasma pistol.
Dude,
I
we
swear,
should-
man, we've been playing with these so much. By the time our winner gets them, the batteries are going to be out.
he's not gonna mind if we just take him out of the box, right?
I know. We should. Let's just do it right now.
Play some laser tag.
I'm gonna get you one of those, Brad, because.
Why does everyone have one but me?
So at the end of today's show, there's also a little bit of sad news, unfortunately.
There is?
Yeah, you tell me, man.
I don't know. What's going on?
I hear you're walking the earth like Cain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some of those little wooden sandals.
Right on.
Yeah.
Are you really heading to the? I hear the tropics. Are involved?
Yeah, that's the story that's going around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna head down there for a while.
Yeah. Just take it on the beach.
Yeah, my girlfriend lives in Hawaii, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so tomorrow is my last day. See
Oh,
you
yeah,
everybody.
totally.
Bye-bye.
And we're still obviously going to use the trademark term "pulling a Brad," obviously.
By all means.
All right.
I'm signing over the rights. Verbal contract right now. It's
Fantastic.
all you.
Hopefully we can. We'll see you in the future, sir.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you.
It's been fun, man.
Absolutely. So there you have it. There's all that business. And the last note I'll leave you with, of course, our Call of Duty 4 tournament. The prelims are happening right now. The finals will take place next Friday. Of course, needless to say, like me and everybody else in the world, huge fan of Call of Duty 4, so I can't wait for that. A lot of really serious competitors, so it should turn out to be a good thing. So that's about it for us here on the Spot this week. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to see you guys next week with the Hot Spot, on the Spot, and everything else we do here. So for me and everybody else in the studio, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.